Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for our second part, the second pillar of our strategy, Simply Safe, and that is going beyond insurance, placing intelligently our bets. But I just wanted very quickly to come back to the first part, the first pillar, leverage and growing our core. We have a very, very strong core that lays the foundation for future growth. The core is strong and resistant, and combined with the capital strength and the strong capitalization and the increased cash upstreams, we have a rock-solid foundation. Being helped, this leveraging and growing the core, by what Stefan talked about, this culture, this transformation of culture, this investment in our people to get a culture of agility, entrepreneurship, and relentless customer focus. And it is exactly that culture of agility and innovation and responsibility and ownership that we also need for our second pillar of our strategy, going beyond insurance. We have a portfolio of innovation initiatives and projects in different stages of maturity. And what we would like to do today is present to you 4 concrete examples of these innovation projects of tomorrow, but not only the innovation projects of tomorrow, also having a look, long-term radar screen on the day after tomorrow. And we'll kick off with the first example of these bets, of these going beyond insurance. It's our newest creation, our newest thing we founded. It's our mobile insurer. And who else than 2 people, 2 colleagues who have worked very hard over the last couple of months in Berlin on the mobile insurer can present this first bet. I would like to ask on stage Pascal Bonny, Head of IT Switzerland, and Tom Schrooyen, member of our strategic office in Belgium. Gentlemen.
Thank you, Geert. Good morning, everybody. Pascal and I are very proud to be here because during the next 10 minutes, we will finally be able to talk about the super secret project we have been working on during the last couple of months. To us, it feels like the most important project Baloise has done over the 150 years. We are actually doing something that not many people have done before. We are setting up a completely new insurance company from scratch. The company will be part of the Baloise group, but it will operate independently, in full autonomy, and in a completely new brand and brand name. Consider as a startup for the moment. We are based in Berlin, one of the startup hotspots in Europe, and it's actually the first time I'm wearing my suit again, and I'm really happy that my pants still fit after all those late-night pizzas. Now, first of all, I'm going to give you some context, how the idea emerged. Then Pascal will tell you a little bit of the contents, and he will show how we tested some of our prototypes with consumers. And then I will tell you how we will move on and what you might expect in the future. Today, almost everybody has a supercomputer in his pocket. Most people use their phones whenever they are, wherever they are. They are always connected. And they don't only use their phone as a means of communication. The smartphone replaced a bunch of other devices, like a photo camera, a scanner, a book, a navigation device, a music player, TV, and so on. Apart from that always connected evolution, companies like Amazon, Uber, Zalando are changing customer expectations. They make use of the latest technologies and try to delight customers in every interaction. They are not only changing customer expectations in their own industries, but also in the insurance industry. More and more people want to experience what they experience by buying from those companies in the insurance industry as well. People want it to be understandable, easy, fast, interactive, immediate response times. This is the challenge we are facing. Meanwhile, new insurance tech startups see opportunities, and they are entering the market. They usually focus on optimizing part of the customer life cycle, like for instance fraud, or sales. Unlike them, we, on our side, are capable of redesigning the complete customer lifecycle. We are not a couple of tech startup guys who try to find their way in the insurance regulation. We do not have to convince an insurance carrier to carry the risk for us. We have all those capabilities in-house. Isn't it, Pascal?
Oh yes, indeed, Tom. We all have the technical capabilities, but do we already have the startup culture? So the idea emerged to create a startup company by ourselves and to try out something radically different from the Baloise Group. In May 2016, so only about 6 months ago, the Baloise garage team was brought to life. 6 people from all over the Baloise countries. 6 people from all over the Baloise countries came together in a startup building at Potsdamer Platz, so in the heart of Berlin, diving into one of Europe's biggest startup scenes. And the idea was clear. Break the corporate boundaries, we heard it several times today, go beyond traditional insurance, work closely together, highly focused in an entrepreneurial and agile environment with as less influence from the traditional insurance, from the traditional business, and as autonomous as possible. The team was empowered to take its ideas into any direction. The only mission which had to be clarified, how could we attract new customers by the Baloise Group? We heard it before, we had to take into account their evolving needs, which come out from other industry of instant and intuitive products and processes. And we had to provide convenience and full transparency, which will allow trust and fairness for the customers. So, just within the first week, we assessed the market opportunities, and we came out with a value proposition and a business case for a new company. A clear picture emerged already after a short time. We found a new company, a mobile insurer. It will be a new, innovative, and direct insurance company that will really transform the way customers think about insurances. We also decided to launch our business in the German market and to start by offering car insurance, and under a completely new brand. As car insurance have a high turnover rate, it is possible to get enough customers quite quickly. The German motor market is the second largest in Europe, right after the UK, and it has experienced a lot of growth over the past few years, and it will grow even more over the next years. Furthermore, competition in Germany is not that as advanced as in the UK market, and the risk of cannibalizing our own German business is quite low because we will focus on other target groups, and the actual market share is rather low so far. Furthermore, we will be able to apply the knowledge from Germany and all the other countries also to the new company. And on the other side, the experiences and the created knowledge in the new mobile insurer will also help us for our projects in the traditional units we already are in. We believe that car insurance is going to experience a lot of changes over the next few years. We want to play an important role in this innovation process, and we think that we can have biggest advantage of being really a new agile startup company. But launching car insurance in the German market is only to be the starting point, however. We want to grow afterwards into other lines of business and into other countries as soon as possible. As you probably know, startup companies work completely different. They want to be very user-centric, as the goal is also for the whole group, and they want to attract as many customers with an outstanding user experience. Startup companies create ideas, they test them with potential customers, and they quickly improve their ideas based on the user feedback they get from the potential customers. With this approach, also the mobile insurer or the team of the mobile insurer succeeded in defining and refining in short iterations a promising unique value proposition for the new mobile insurer. We target young, mobile-savvy customers looking for an affordable car insurance with a full mobile experience. The key points of this UVP are: it is 100% mobile, with fast interaction anywhere and at any time, all on the smartphone and using all its capabilities, from subscription to claims process and everything in between. Second, it uses new technologies and offers usage-based pricing based on telematics. Third, it invents new and more frequent ways of interacting with the customers. We want to introduce gamification and reward strategy based, for example, on the customer's driving style. It has easy, transparent, fair, and understandable products and processes, and we don't use any insurance slang. It will have an affordable price due to the low cost ratio we target. That is based on the fact that we won't work together with intermediaries, and we want to use as much self-service and as much straight-through processing in the back office as possible. And last, we want to offer a flexible coverage, for example, by offering short-term changes. Imagine, for example, that you are crossing the border with your car, and based on your location, you get an offer to buy a travel insurance just with one click within an app on your mobile phone. Or you want to ensure that your son or your daughter can drive your car during your holidays for about 2 weeks without that you have to pay a huge amount for having the coverage for the whole year. Now, next we would like to give you a short insight of the prototypes Tom mentioned before. We made a lot of prototypes in Berlin. We tested them with the users, and what came out I would like to show you. But I have to give you the microphone to help me, please. Thanks. What's happening now for the moment is that we combine the ideas we have in the final prototype, in the final app, which we will launch later on, and about the future Tom will tell you later on. Okay. One of the UVP aspects is that we want to be really easy and we want to fast interact with our customer. So what you know from traditional insurance is that if you want to apply for a car insurance, for example, you probably have to answer about 40 questions. We want to be really radically different. So we offer you that you just take some photos of existing documents. For example, here you take your former policy contract of your former insurance company. You take the photo, the picture, and we will derive all the information we need to get the questions answered. Same for the car information. You just make a photo of your car documents, or of your personal information, you take a photo of your ID. So it just takes a few seconds or 1 or 2 minutes to get the first quote for your car. Another aspect is, so this is second prototype. As I said, it will show later on all together in the final app. We want to be very transparent. So when you report a claim, for you the most important aspect is to see when will I have my money or when will my car be fixed. So we will, with all processes we offer, we want to be very transparent. When is your car, when was the damage, when was the reporting of it, and when will you get your money back, or when will the car be fixed? So all the information in one page. And the third use case I would like to show is to report a claim. Of course, in an emergency case, you can call us 7 days, 24 hours a day. But if the case is not that urgent, or if it was not that bad, the accident, then you can just use the app to report a claim. You say where it was. We use the capabilities of the smartphone. You say when it happened, with which car, if you have several car insured with us. I say, unfortunately, I crashed in someone's car, and I clicked both, so I have to say it now. Normally, you have to write a whole book to explain what exactly happened in the accident you had. We offer you that you just tell us using the microphone, and we have all we need to regulate the claim. Afterwards, you upload some pictures of the car accident. You tell us if you want to get your car fixed or if you want the money back. If you want to get the car fixed, as next we show you in which garage, which is the closest to your place you are for the moment. You bring it to the garage and everything will be fixed and handled by us. These are just some examples. Of course, we have a lot of more ideas which will be finalized now. Thank you, Tom. And as you see, it's only a matter of seconds or minutes to stipulate or change a contract with a mobile insurer or even to report a claim. What's going to happen in the next weeks and months, Tom will tell you now in the next few minutes.
Yep. After the go decision that we had from the Baloise board in August, the team started the implementation phase. It's actually not a project anymore, it's a company now. In the last few weeks, the garage team has grown by a couple of members, and we will still grow in the months to come. An alpha car insurance product will be launched in Germany early 2017, in which we will test our designs, our processes, and our journeys. This will be done by a closed group of test users. This allows us to get feedback and refine our approach. Having learned from that alpha phase, we will launch a first public version of the product in the spring of 2017. And then we will quickly iterate based on that to prepare for the next car insurance switching season by the end of 2017. With these steps, we will lay the base to enlarge our customer base in Germany substantially, and we will get one step closer to our ambition to become the #1 mobile insurer in Europe. So to summarize, we launch a new end-to-end mobile insurance company, starting car insurance in the German market. Our ambition is, however, to offer other products and expand to other European countries. It's all about simplicity, transparency, convenience, and user experience. It has been an amazing journey so far. By doing this project, we learned a couple of things about the Baloise Group. One of the most important ones, however, is that we have so many capabilities in-house, so much knowledge. We are lucky to work in a startup that has so much support from the Baloise people. Whenever we have a question, we pick up the phone, we call somebody, and we get answers really quickly. Everybody is prepared to help us, which creates a nice dynamic in the whole group and really drives us forward. We are very excited for what is about to come. Thank you. Over to Geert.
Thank you very much, Pascal. Thank you very much, Tom. I like the teamwork. When the mic of Pascal broke down, actually Tom was standing beside him, actually to help in hand. Nice. Why is mobile insurance such an important thing for us? One, we will be approaching customer segments that don't even have Baloise or Basler on their radar screen today. So as the second biggest market, car insurance market in Europe, we are tapping into a potential of serious growth. And although the examples you've seen might look like an app or a nice front end, it's a complete insurance, simple and safe insurance solution. So it's not just another app, it's an insurance company. Of course, mobile is not the only answer to the changing customer behavior and the changing customer needs. The customer of today, the customer of tomorrow will actually decide himself or herself how he or she will interact with us, when he or she wants it, how he and she wants it, and from virtually anywhere around the world. Until a couple of years ago, we had approximately 30 touch points with our customers. Today, we have over 300 touch points. Customers decide how they interact with us. So I'd like to invite you to listen to Sascha Trüffer, our head of touchpoint management in Switzerland, and to look at some of the ideas of this customer journey of tomorrow. What is important to say, the things you will hear and will see, some of them are already happening today, are in place and active, and some are being developed as we speak. Sasha, floor is yours.
Thank you, Gert. Thank you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we heard it already before. Today, the importance of customer centricity is undoubted. And Baloise, I'm proud to say, already implemented years ago a department that had the mission to bring the view of the customer into the company. Already in 2009, a dedicated team of touchpoint managers was put in place with the only goal to create instruments on how we can increase the service quality for our customers. Now, by analyzing our touchpoints together with our customers, we defined a customer journey on how we can enthuse them. Now, with the following film, we want to show you how we can gain new customers by using new social media. Well, Gert was already talking about Sarah before. Now, this is Sarah. In this case, Sarah just left the sheltered nest of her parents to stand for the first time in her life on her own 2 feet. And Sarah is like most of the people of this generation. She is young, she is flexible, she is a digital native, and she prefers online. Now, Sarah needs an household insurance, And what does she do? Well, yes, she Googles. Now, after that, she has the possibility to choose between different communication channels. And, well, she chooses the video chat. Video chat is, although it's an electronic way to communicate, it is very personal. And Claudio, the indoor consultant, is showing her on her screen what kind of insurance she needs for her home to feel safe. Now, after Sarah said yes to Baloise, she can immediately have a look at her new contract on our customer interaction platform. There she is able to check all the insurances or to change her coverings easily and independently. And alongside of this, we're able to provide her with the latest news on prevention and safety. Now, after closing her first contract with us, she agrees to keep in touch with us via social media channels. Now, why is this so important? Well, let's have a look at the next film, how we want to achieve to develop the customer relationship. Now, if something big changes in life, mostly your insurance need changes as well. But let's be honest, did you think about the insurance the day you got married? Well, I'm working for an insurance company and I didn't. So that is why it is very important to stay in contact with our customers via social media. Because almost everybody posts personal important events on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and so forth. Now, here in our film, Sarah posts a wedding picture on Facebook. And Bianca, her Baloise consultant next door, gets an alert message. This alert message is provided by an application that is able to detect money in motion live events on social media platforms. Therefore, Bianca is able to react promptly. She congratulates Sarah for her wedding and asks her for an interview. At this interview, with customer-friendly visualizations, she shows the actual insurance situation to Sarah and her husband, Tim. And she's showing them what they need as a married couple for a safe future. Now, try to remember yourself, the last time you've been enthusiastic about a product or a service. Didn't you tell your friends? Enthusiastic customers are the best advertisement. That is why we created an easy way for our customers to recommend their consultants to their friends and family. With our smartphone-based application, Baloise Scout, we generated a win-win situation. For every successful recommendation, our customer gets a monetary award, and our consultant has the chance to get in touch with a potential new, already positively influenced client. Now, so far so good. But what about the main task of an insurance company, the core element, a claim, the so-called moment of truth? What you just saw is not a vision, it's already today's reality at Baloise. It is very common that a claim is announced by an email. And because Tim likes to have things done quickly, he immediately sends an email to Baloise, even if it's in the middle of the night. Now, because of our officially awarded data management center, the email is read by sophisticated rules engines and sent directly to the responsible claims manager. Right the next day, Irma, the claims manager in the film, calls Tim and guides him through the Baloise Easy Claims handling process within just a few minutes. Now, Tim receives an email with a link to a platform where he can choose from 3 options. First, he can take the money. Second, he can directly from the platform buy a new bike. And third, he can choose a voucher from an associated retailer. Now, this claims handling service is unique in the insurance business, and it reduced our claims handling time in such cases from 14 days to just 1 day. At the end of some calls, some randomly chosen customers are questioned about their satisfaction, how the claims process was, and if they would recommend us to some friends and family, the Net Promoter Score. By using the numeric keypad of your mobile phone, it is very easy to answer these two questions. That is why we have the enormous response rate of 70%. In numbers, this means 50,000 transactional customer feedbacks and ratings every year. And what about the result? A continuously rising Net Promoter Score up to 80. Now, however, we never give up our objective going from good to great. And our long-time experience has shown us that a customer journey is the best way to identify the needs of our customers, especially in a world of omnichanneling and constant change, demanding constant customer feedback. In addition, a customer journey shows us how we can orchestrate our channels to the benefit of our customers. That gives us the safety to know where we have to invest to make the difference for Sarah, and to prove her every day that she made the right decision by choosing Baloise as her partner. Thank you.
Thank you, Sasha. Ladies and gentlemen, it is clear that omnichannel and digitization and social media and so forth will change, is changing, has changed the interaction we have with our customers, or rather the other way around, the interaction the customers have with us. They decide. And it's not only about providing them all the different interaction channels. It's much more about providing them a consistent customer experience across all these interaction channels. But digitization won't only change the way we interact with our customers, it will change the product and the services that we offer. And even going further, it will change the solutions we offer to our customers. In the area of connected cars, we want to highlight two initiatives, two projects. One is in Luxembourg. We already have a long period experience with the pay how you drive concept, and let's take a look at how this would translate into something material as of beginning of next year. And in Belgium, we have a long-term bet with strategic partners, not focusing anymore on car insurance products, but on mobility solutions. I would like to invite Laurent Heiles, member of the EXCO in Luxembourg, and Joris Meulers, member of the EXCO in Belgium, to the stage. Laurent, Joris, please.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Gert. The microphone is working. Okay. So I'm not going to talk about connected cars. You most definitely know a lot, everybody, about connected cars. I'm going to talk about the relationship of connected cars with the insurance business. So what am I talking about? Luxembourg is going to launch the first connected car product in our country. So why in Luxembourg, will you say, such a small country? Well, it's a big tech-savvy country with a lot of mobile devices, with a lot of connected items. It has a multicultural population, which is a great test field for testing this product for other countries, maybe. And this multicultural population uses or generates a lot of acceptance. And then it's still soft price, especially in the car insurance, which allows to do discounts without jeopardizing profitability. And we are especially proud as Baloise Luxembourg, to be the first one to launch such a project in our country. So what about the how now? How are we going to do it? Well, unlike many other telematic projects, we go to market with a phased approach. First a game, and then a product. In 2015, Baloise Luxembourg launched the game Game of Roads, an app-based game, very simple telematics, a huge incentive program to buy in the community, a program and a game where people competed one against the other with the app. We had multi-channel communication on the community, very modern communication. And we had a great success with that game. So that encouraged us to go further. So 1 year later, in June 2016, we launched Game of Roads Experience. This time, we shifted from a gamification to a safety approach. The safety issue is a very big one in Luxembourg. We have a very bad safety record, especially for young people in Luxembourg. So we had a lot of partners, official partners, authorities, like the police or the road safety authority, which worked with us, which shows how important this issue is in Luxembourg and how important this issue and this view we have on safety is for them too. You see, we have now a legitimacy, a credibility to go to market with our first product. We want to be where people need us most. We want to help young people be better drivers. We don't want the Emily Lois story happen again too often in Luxembourg. So what do we do next? We're going to launch the first telematic product, as of beginning of next year. We're going to start with a soft start approach, a minimum viable product, a very lean product to buy in the community, and also, of course, to fine-tune the product. It's going to have linear discount, very simple discount. And we're going to talk to the community that we used to talk before, to the gaming community. So that allows us on a relatively small panel of potential 5,000 people to fine-tune our product. At the end of next year, in 2017, we're going to launch the full telematic program. It's going to be dongle, it's going to be device-based. So you put this device in your car, and any car becomes a connected car. It will have how you drive pricing, very important. So the better you drive, the lesser you pay. And we will open up to young people and their parents. So 18 to 25, and the parents, of course, which gives us great opportunity to cross-sell. So what next, will you say? We have the game, we have the product. What is our goal? What is our ambition? Well, intelligence without ambition is like a bird without wings. Somebody quoted, I don't remember. We want to go afterwards on fleets with telematics, smart pricing and telematics. We want to open up also on the safe driver community. And if we succeed, we will scale up to the general public. So what do I want you to keep in mind or remember from my very short speech? 3 things. First of all, Luxembourg is a fertile country. Second, we go to market with a phased approach. And the third thing I didn't say yet, but we want to triple our part of young people in our portfolio within 5 years. Because Luxembourg has very strong scoring in their car product, and our market share is much below our general market share. So thank you very much for listening to me, and I hand over to Joris Moilers, Managing Director Non-Life in Belgium. Thank you.
Thank you, Laurent. Good afternoon. Motor insurance, car insurance. In Belgium, we are playing a very relevant role in this line of business. We even have a leading position in this line of business. 48% of the non-life premium in Belgium is motor. And year after year, we are delivering very positive combined results in this line of business. The future, as you all know, motor insurance, a lot of changes. We have the car technology, reducing accidents. We have the shift in ownership, examples like car sharing, private lease. We have the upcoming self-driving cars, the role and the position that the car manufacturers, the OEMs, are taking in this segment. A lot have changed. And last but not least, it's the customer expectation. The customer expectation around convenience, ease of use, and service. All this together is a cocktail that will have a huge and big impact on our motor premium portfolio, and by extension, on our actual business model. The result, vaporization of a huge percentage of the premium, a shift from mainly retail business to corporate, and the last one, the entrance of new players. Together with external partners in Belgium, partners who are active in telecommunication, technology, and assistance, we have been working on this challenge. We created an ecosystem where we shared information, knowledge, experience, and we created a lot of awareness. And as you all know, awareness is the birthplace for possibility. By enlarging our view, it's not about the car, but it's about mobility. And by not placing the insurance at the center, but placing the customer at the center, it's not about insurance, but it's about retail. It's by going beyond that we saw the opportunity. We are building a mobility member platform. It's a lifestyle optimizer. It's a platform that will provide relevant, just-in-time information, support, service, and assistance to our customers. It's information tips around driving behavior. It's the gamification of safe driving. Emergency call. If you have an accident, we will call you. If you have a breakdown with your car, we will call you. We will give you deals, we make you propositions, we will help you if you are in need of fuel, tires, or maintenance. We will offer special deals by using our economies of scales. You want to buy a car? We'll help you, we advise you how you should finance this car. If you would like to share your car, we can help, we can assist you via this platform. If you would like to sell your car, we will also help and assist you for selling your car. We will help and assist you if you are moving from a location Y to a location Z. The insurance, the car insurance, the individual insurance will be embedded in the overall service proposal. It is by dongle technology that we will create a marketplace where technical data and behavioral data will be transformed into safety, comfort, and money deals. It's a broker of mobility service. If you look at Belgium, in Belgium we have about 5.7 million cars. And 70%, 70%, is related, is a segment of cars that is second-hand market. 70%, it's triple size the new sales market. 4.7 million cars, it's 82% of the 5.7 million cars, is owned by families. In Belgium, 13% of the annual spending of a household goes to the ownership and the usage of a car. It's a little bit more than 400 euros a month. This is a 23 billion euro market. Insurance only takes 3.5 of it. We will play a role in the other 19.5 billion euros. The structuring of this venture is progressing. It will be a garage approach like we are doing in Germany. Partners are on board. And the real build will begin 2017. And the outcome will be a like to have, like to receive box, where you will have dongle, blue chip, connection with your mobile, that will give you access to a simply safe world of mobility, comfort, and value deals. And the goal, the ambition, the vision of this Baloise venture is that we will transform traditional car insurance into care mobility. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Laurent. Thank you very much, Joris. It's great to see Belgium and Luxembourg developing those new ideas. Of course, they can be leveraged and should be leveraged across the whole group. In the 3 examples you saw up to now, mobile insurer, the customer journey, and the connected cars, they're all related to private and SME clients. But you also have an example of a bet of going beyond insurance for our institutional clients. At Baloise, we have the unique combination of know-how of asset management, pension funds, and real estate that we actually want to leverage to offer solutions to our institutional clients. Matthias Henny of our asset management department will tell us more about that.
Thank you. So I hope the microphone is working. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. At Baloise, we have been successful in managing our own assets, but we've never really had a focus on managing third-party assets. This we will change beginning as of next year. To introduce you to the topic, let me first explain you where we come from. We have been managing our own assets basically since the foundation of our company back in 1863. Over the last 15 years, we have concentrated all asset management activities at Group here in Basel. We have created our own asset management company, and over the years, we have transferred the management of all assets to that asset management company, with the exception of real estate and mortgages, which are both managed still on a local basis. With that approach, we created the critical mass to build up a professional asset management organization here in Basel, which is now responsible for the management of 60 billion Swiss francs of assets. Besides managing own assets, we have also built up third-party asset management business, although at a lower speed. In 1996, we have set up an investment foundation for pension funds, and in 2001, we have set up Baloise Fund Invest, a Luxembourg SICAV. Fund Invest serves as a platform to create our own investment fund, for instance, as part of a unit-linked product. Despite all these efforts, the contribution to the profit of the asset management division from third-party asset management today only accounts for roughly 10%. Now, you heard earlier today that the business mix in life is going to change. We will have less traditional products with investment guarantees, and we'll have more products where the policyholder bears the investment risk, or where there's no savings component attached to it, like a pure risk product. And this means for us as an insurance asset manager that we have to shift our focus as well towards managing third-party assets. This could be, on the one hand, managing an investment fund as part of a unit-linked product, or managing of a autonomous pension fund like Perspectiva with Baloise clients behind. Or it could mean, on the other hand, that we manage a mandate, an asset management mandate, which is completely independent from an insurance product. And that's actually where we see the potential in the Swiss pension fund market. Now you might ask the question, why should there be space for another asset manager? Isn't there already enough asset management capacity around? We believe that there is potential, especially in the Swiss pension fund market. And this is what we're going to exploit. We believe that there is especially potential for an asset manager coming from an insurance group, because we have quite a few things in common. There are a lot of things similar between managing insurance assets and pension fund assets. First of all, we are all long-term oriented investors. Secondly, we are used to operate under an asset liability management framework. We're not just an asset-only asset manager, like many other asset managers do. We are used to target a specific investment return, which is required from the policyholder liability side. And this is also the same challenge a pension fund faces today, especially in the low interest rate environment. More and more pension funds have their difficulties to achieve their target investment return, and this is exactly where we have the experience. Besides, Baloise has long-term experience in managing large pools of insurance and pension fund assets, and we have the experience and the critical size basically to do it. And last but not least, we are completely independent from banks. Not like a bank asset manager. We only act in the interest of our clients, be it insurance or pension fund clients. So what are we actually going to do? We will ramp up our asset management operations as of next year with a strong focus on small and medium-sized pension funds. For some products, we might also target larger pension funds or other client groups like family offices. We will do this by leveraging our own experience, and our goal over the next 5 years is to increase the profit contribution from third-party asset management from currently 10% to 25% of the overall asset management division profit. This will require an additional assets under management of slightly above 5 billion Swiss francs. To achieve these ambitious goals, we will do basically 4 things. First of all, sales force. Up to now, we had a focus within our third-party asset management. We had our focus on retail customers, and we played in the institutional asset management market only on an opportunistic basis. Better like that? Okay. To target the institutional asset management market, we will ramp up a sales force dedicated to the pension fund market in Switzerland. Second point is on the product size. We already have a comprehensive product set within fixed income, equities, and in the multi-asset space. Some of those products with a remarkable track record, but nevertheless, we will add additional products to that range. For instance, we are currently setting up a senior secured loan fund. We will have all the insurance companies investing into that fund, and we will open that fund also for third-party clients. The fund will have a target size after ramp-up of above 1 billion Swiss francs, and this is a good example of how our clients can benefit from our size and from our experience in this field. The third point is real estate. We see a large demand by pension funds for real estate assets, especially in the current low interest rate environment. Although real estate prices have risen quite a bit, the yield on real estate that you can achieve is still substantially higher than on a risk-free government bond. And we already have a large real estate team which is responsible for the management of 500 billion buildings with a total asset value of 6 billion Swiss francs. We have never offered real estate management services to third-party clients. We will change this. We are currently in the process of setting up a real estate management company, a fund management company, and we're transferring the real estate team to that company from where it will manage both insurance real estate assets as well as third-party assets. And we're also in the process of setting up a real estate investment fund that will include Swiss buildings. And that fund will be launched in 2017. It will be fully invested from day one. And currently, we're in the process of applying for regulatory approval from our regulator. The fourth point is pension fund services. Besides asset management, we will also offer pension fund services. That can include consulting on strategy, on governance, asset liability management, risk management. It will also include pension fund administration services, and that will help us to sell additional products in the risk coverage area, like risk coverage on death and disability. Again, a product line in which we want to grow. So to summarize, we will ramp up our third-party asset management operations as of next year. We will do this by leveraging our experience and our size in this field. Our goal is to increase our assets under management by more than 5 billion Swiss francs over the next 5 years, and that will help us to increase the profit contribution from third-party asset management from 10 to 25%. Thank you very much for your attention. And now, back to Gerd.
Many thanks, Matthias. We've shown you 4 examples of the innovation initiatives and innovation projects we are working on or implementing. Those are the things of today and tomorrow, early 2017. But of course, in this changing world, we need to anticipate and look beyond tomorrow. We have to look at the day after tomorrow. And that is why we have formed with Anthemis, a London-based think tank, a collaboration to develop a long-term radar to scan business opportunities in the longer term that are innovative and promising, but potentially also disruptive. I would like to invite Sibyl Fischer and Thomas Sieber to the stage. Sibyl is a member of our Group Strategy and Digital Transformation team, and Thomas is a member of our Group Executive Committee.
Thank you, Gerd. Ladies and gentlemen, lunch is coming soon, but we will have a short presentation before, and we would like to draw your attention to the stern of our cruise ship, where we see at the left-hand side a long-range scanner. The long-range scanner should help us to look into the future, to find new business opportunities. So Sibylle and I will talk about certain innovation efforts, and we will structure it like follows. I will talk about the why and the how. Sibylle has a main part about the what, and I will conclude with the next steps. So I'm coming to a why. We are pretty sure that we will see some fundamental changes in the insurance business. Evolving customer demands combined with new technology leads to new business models in our industry. This can be a threat for us, but also an opportunity. We know that the cycle and speed of change is going to be faster in the future, and it will be quite unpredictable. So we need to future-proof our business across several areas. The nature of risks and assets are going to change. Just think about digital assets and how digital assets, with all the data available, can affect your digital footprint. We see a lot of signals in the market like shared economy, platform business, Internet of Things, and we want to make sure that we catch some right signals to develop options for Baloise. So our ambition is to identify, assess, translate market innovation into real business opportunities for Baloise. Companies, and we are no exemption, tend to seek short-term optimization. But we decided that we want to put more energy, more time to look more broadly into the future. And with that, I'm coming to the how. As Gerd already pointed out, we decided to work with Anthemis. So over the last 5 months, we partnered up with Anthemis. Anthemis is an investment and advisory group based in London, who is working in the field of digital financial services for over the last 10 years. And Anthemis was brought in, Gerd, because you used to say we are shooting a bit from the hip in our innovation efforts, so we need to have more focus in those efforts, but also Anthemis could provide us with an outside-in perspective. Since mid-May, we conducted 14 full-time workshops, and some of the colleagues are here today. And I can tell you it was very, very intense. It was demanding, but it was also exciting, and we learned a lot. We looked at the ever-increasing customer expectations. And if you look at retail providers today, especially digital ones, we really have excelled the customer experience. It's not just about delivering a service. It's really about knowing, respecting, and at the end, delighting Sarah. And that's what is expected from us in the future too. So we looked very, very hard through the eyes, through the lenses of the customer, what's important for him, for her. We looked at hundreds of different startups within and outside our industry which serve the need of the customer. And we came up with a radar. We call it Customer Needs Radar. It looks like this, and don't worry about all the legend. On those radar, we put all the startups we looked at. And we tried to segment that radar into 3 specific areas, 3 areas which are relevant for the customer and which are relevant for insurance. And the 3 questions are, how can I prevent and provision against future loss? How can I control about things I care? And how can I grow my assets to live better tomorrow? I start with the first one. How can I prevent or provision against future loss? This helped us in the area of risk prevention, insurance on demand, and also insurance on digital assets. And I personally, I like gaming, I like sports, and I have a question for you. What do you think is the biggest concern for a fantasy soccer gamer on the net? Maybe you would say time. I have not enough time to spend. But if you look at the time those players are spending, it's enormous. And you can control it to a certain extent. But something you can't control is if your favorite soccer player is injured. Yeah. What can you do about? It's easy. We are talking about insurance, so you can buy insurance for that soccer player. So we are living today in a world where you can buy real insurance, for real money for your fantasy soccer gamers. And I think that's just amazing, and it shows how mashed up the virtual and real world are already as of today. An example here is Fantasy Player Protect, a company who was bought, but you really can insure across very, very different sports fields your virtual players. A second area, how can I grow my assets today to live better tomorrow? Here we looked mainly at robo-advisors, which is particularly relevant for us for our life offerings. And interesting here is that the customer as of today really trusts the technology and algorithm. Otherwise, you cannot explain the amount of money who is flowing in that direction. And a star certainly is Betterment based in New York. And then the final segment of our radar is how can I control things? And here, this is not just, let's say, about to insure things, it's also to take care about your loved ones. Remote care, remote control is a hot issue. If you think at all the monitoring devices which can adjust your appliance condition, but also preventing damages. A big star is here Nest Labs, bought by Google. But also platform business, as already mentioned, is a big topic. In platform business, you can unlock values from your underutilized assets. So that radar just helped us to look for new customer needs. And based on that, we try to look in which direction the insurance business can go in the future. And we try to work or develop hypotheses. And based on those hypotheses, we try to develop possible options for Baloise. And Sibyl will talk more about that.
Thank you, Thomas. Good afternoon. I will now mention 5 of these hypotheses we have formulated. The first one is that we think that mobility and home content maintenance system will become virtually accident-free. This is thanks to data science advancements, which will help to track and forecast events. So as you can see behind me, your house gets a brain. So for example, my connected washing machine detects a malfunction of its water hose and sends a message to me, or better to my insurer, and my insurer organizes then the replacement without any action of myself needed. The second one is that everyone can find insurance coverage of pretty everything they might need. So they find a big insurance coverage umbrella for their like-minded people. And social media such as Facebook and Instagram make it quite easy to find these like-minded people. The third option is about this poor guy crushed by the burden of his debt. Due to the ongoing instability of the financial markets, we believe that people will incur more debt and require more financial wellness advice. So it will become totally normal to ask your robo-financial advisor how to adjust your expenses to be able to afford, for example, a new flat. The fourth option is that digital assets becoming tradable and insurable as this little Minecraft figure. And for that, platforms are required where you can store, value, exchange, and insure these digital assets. Thomas mentioned before, today you can insure your virtual football players against injuries. Tomorrow you will maybe exchange your in-game money into Swiss francs. And the fifth and last hypothesis for today is that identity will become a digital asset of its own. Every time you interact with your environment, your data scores is changing. For example, you post a photo on Instagram and you get likes. And the more likes you have on your account, the more value it has, surely for you, but maybe also for an investor. And in that case, you will also insure it against theft. Working as a team, we have translated this hypothesis into approximately 30 strategic options. And we are convinced that some of these options will be becoming new bets and balloons, which are making our ship lighter and more agile. And these options are more strategic positions instead of a direct investment pipeline. We are convinced that data is becoming more and more important in the future. So our first option is about investing in an AI analytics platform to gain deeper data analytics capabilities. And with these capabilities, we are able to develop new risk models, which then we can mitigate risk. The second one is about partnering with a gaming company to learn more about non-material reward system and how players are exchanging and value in-game assets. We are realizing that the way our customers own and share assets are dramatically changing. So our third option is about partnering with an industry expert, such as cryptocurrency, to learn more about the life cycle of digital assets, because we think that it is crucial that we Baloise understand these life cycles pretty well. And the fourth option is about partnering with a peer-to-peer platform. It's clear for us that peer-to-peer has still to prove itself as a business model, but we see it also as an opportunity to gain new customers, such as millennials, and learn more about their preferences and values. So a possibility is to incubate a Baloise product in an existing peer-to-peer platform. Thomas will now tell you our next steps.
Thank you, Sibyl. Sibyl talked about certain options we like in particular. In the coming weeks, we have to decide upon which we want to focus. And our new team, headed by Adrian, Group Strategy and Digital Transformation, will support us there. Our ambition is to build longer-term resiliency for Baloise. And this is also a cultural issue, because at the end, it's not sufficient if you have some great and bold ideas. You need the employees and partners, and at the end also customers who share those ideas and belief. And we are really, really committed to growing a learning organization, more so than today. And as Stefan pointed out earlier, we have to have the courage in those fields to try out things and to make errors. But we shouldn't do that in a light-hearted way. And finally, we are in the process of setting up a dedicated fund to make strategic investments into startups in the areas we have identified as key for us. And we plan to invest 50 million Swiss francs. That's roughly about 10 percentage points of our overall private equity investments. And we will do that together with Anthemis. I hope we could give you a flavor of a little bit, let's say, our thinking and the new world. Thanks for your attention, and we hand back to Gert.
Thank you, Sibyl. Thank you, Thomas. Our Simply Safe strategy is based on 2 pillars: leveraging and growing the core, and go beyond traditional insurance or placing our bets. In order to do so, we need to transform the culture into agility and entrepreneurship. But what is our destination? And we're back to the one-pager. We have an ambitious yet promising destination. What we will do in leveraging and growing the core and going beyond insurance is to, 1, do even better today what we already excel at today: target customer management, operational excellence, risk-based underwriting. And also in leveraging and growing this core, we will unleash the potential, the untapped potential of our life business and our German business. 2, we will radically simplify our core business, our products, our processes, our communication, our interaction with our clients. 3, we will relentlessly focus on our customers and always put them in the center of everything what we do. 4, we will build this culture of agility, of entrepreneurship, of trial and error, of taking ownership and initiative. And 5, we will go beyond insurance, placing our bets intelligently. Our basic philosophy of the strategy is extremely simple. Motivated, proud employees tie emotional bonds with customers, and that will result in sustainable value for our shareholders. And that is why we have made our targets going forward, our ambitions over the next 5 years, completely consistent with this idea of proud employees, satisfied customers, shareholder value. The first objective is to become one of the leading employers in our industry by building this new culture of agility, by offering an attractive environment. As such, we will not only retain our best people, but we will attract the new talents. And this is no management blah blah. We will measure ourselves against this target by using an employer promotion KPI. Employer-employee target. Second target is about growth, is about our customers. Over the next 5 years, we will take on board an additional 1 million of profitable customers. That's plus 30% compared to the current base. We will do that by relentlessly focusing on our customers and by delighting them with the customer, an outstanding customer experience. And the last target, ambition over the next 5 years, is this 2 billion of cash upstreaming into the holding. On one side, by growing and leveraging the core and untapping the potential of life in Germany. On the other hand, by generating additional value given these initiatives, innovation projects going beyond insurance. The aim of this 2 billion is twofold. 1, to continue, of course, our sustainable, attractive, reliable dividend policy, and otherwise to be able to invest in these upcoming opportunities, these new innovation projects of growth. By substantially increasing the cash upstream to the holding, of course, the ambition is also to increase the dividend. I would like to wrap it up here and open again, I think, Mark, for some questions and hopefully satisfying answers.
So we will start now with the Q&A session. Go first with the room. We have a question over here. Daniel Bischoff.
Thanks, Daniel Bischoff, Baader Helvea. I have a question on the ROE target. So the combined ratio guidance was improved. The life portfolio should become capital light, and I think also on the asset management side, on the banking side, you have some ambitions, whereas the capital adequacy or solvency is already strong. I guess you didn't change the ROE guidance here. 8 to 12% is quite a wide range, but in the past you said the ambition should rather be 10 to 12%. Could you comment on that?
Maybe in terms of, indeed, thank you, David. In terms of those three ambitions, those three targets, employees, customers, and cash upstreaming, the guidance is, as you mentioned, AB 200 million in life, combined ratio 90 to 95%, and indeed an unchanged return on equity of 8 to 12%. We didn't change that one given the current environment. I mean, return on equity of 8 to 12% in today's environment is, I would say, remaining unchanged is already an extreme stretched ambition. But Herman, maybe you can allude to that. You don't have a mic. You have to. Do we have a second?
Yes, indeed. We didn't change that. Actually, we should have taken it down if you look at the low risk rate. We haven't done it because there are a couple of things which are really improving the capital efficiency. On the other hand, just to be frank there, the movement on the life side, that takes a while until you really need, you really recognize that on the capital side. But 8 to 12, and that's probably the reason as well why we stay with a quite large bandwidth there, because it really depends on interest rates, i.e. on unrealized gains actually.
And the second one is on the additional customers. I mean, the client base up 30% over 5 years. You laid out a number of initiatives here, but what about the timeline, let's say, getting these projects into break even, or when would you walk away from there? Or, I mean, are you generally compromising on profitability when it comes to these 1 million new customers?
Of course, you are right. There are investments, and the first objective of these investments is growth. It's not immediate bottom line result. So the first objective is the growth of these innovation projects, not necessarily bottom line results immediately. Of course, break even should come quickly, but we should also, in this new culture, learn to fail fast. I mean, if these ideas don't work, what we used to do in the past is sort of try again, continue, and so forth. We will have to build this culture of saying, no, we pull the plug because this is not working. But the examples you heard are primarily targeted at growth.
And did I understand that correctly? So the main KPI for becoming the trusted insurer of choice is the 1 million, or is there another one we can follow?
No, there are 3 targets. An employee target, which is one or the best employer in the sector. It's the 1 million additional profitable clients, and it's the 2 billion cash upstreaming.
Stefan Schermer from Fondo. I have 3 questions. The first one, maybe can you quantify the investments by 2021, which you already know today, excluding the private equity fund? Second one, on the new, basically, projects like the mobile insurer or the mobility platform in Belgium, can you maybe just give us some feel what the payback period you target there in terms of investments? And then the last one, as you have a new 17 to 21 period, can you remind us, or maybe elaborate a bit, how management on the variable side will be compensated, on what KPIs you measure, basically, management going forward?
I'll try to remember all the 3, but I might need some help from the colleagues. I already lost the first one. Sorry, but can you repeat it?
Quantify the investments.
Yeah. A couple of things about the investments. If you look back, so the last 2 to 3 years on the investments we have done on a group level, if you talk about digital field, then you would be in an area of 200 million Swiss francs, more or less, over the group in digital investments. And that's then data mining, the core systems, the interaction facilities we have, and so forth. That's one. We have not actually taken the option of saying, over the next 5 years, we're going to free up that much cash and invest them in new things. Because we actually take it step by step. I mean, it doesn't make a lot of sense to say we're going to spend 100, 200, 500 million of Swiss francs if you don't know what you're going to invest in. So we're actually taking it case by case. The more mature these innovation projects become, the more clearer will be the investment case. To give you an idea, the mobile insurer, which is concrete, which will be launched next year, will ask for in between 45 and 50 million Swiss francs up to the end of 2018. But again, we are taking it step by step. The mobile platform, the mobile solution platform in Belgium, is not yet in that stage of maturity to say, hey, how much are we going to invest in there? And I think Thomas also mentioned it. We have approximately, I think, Martin, 600 to 700 million private equity in our assets. 50 million of this will be invested in real, the insurtechs, in these options that we believe in. But you can't name just one number. It's case by case, depending on the good idea of the innovation project.
Payback period, yeah.
Payback period, again, it's a case by case approach. If you look at the mobile insurer in Germany and then extending in other lines of business in other countries, one, as I said before, it's primarily a growth objective. That's one. The business case today will actually break even in 2020.
Last question was management compensation.
Yeah, management compensation. We are not being compensated on short-term growth or anything else like that. I think the management compensation, as you know, and as we have, I think, explained it a couple of times, has remained the same. Of course, given the innovation projects and this idea of growth, there is an additional, for these kinds of projects, there is an additional incentive on the growth objective, of course.
Thank you.
Okay. Yes, it's René Locher with MainFirst. Just a follow-up question. It's interesting to hear that you would like to become the most popular mobile insurer in Germany by 2021. And on the other side, we have learned that you are hiring new agents, you would like to work closer to brokers. So this looks a little bit to me like two different worlds, right? Because if I would be a tied agent, I would not go to Baloise, Germany, because they have this mobile insurer now, which is taking over all that business. So just get a little bit of feeling here. And again, on the number, this is analyst stuff, these 2 billion. German explained it's going step by step, but again, it's roughly 400 million a year. It's, if I'm right, roughly 8 Swiss francs per share. You are paying now 5 Swiss francs as a dividend. You just explained that for mobile platform, you have invested 45 million. So what I'm a little bit afraid is the market might have a little bit too high ambitious or what to expect on the dividend side. And stop here.
Good. Thank you, René. Maybe I'll give a general answer, but then I'll go over to Jürg in terms of the German market. Of course, if you look at our Basel, Germany, our traditional German business with agents and with brokers, they're focusing on a number, and Jürg has explained that, very clear profitable segments. The targets, customers, the customer targets segments we are targeting actually with mobile insurer are different. So that's one. So there is not necessarily a lot of cannibalization. And of course, it has been an evaluation of where do we launch the mobile insurer. And the channel conflict, of course, would be much higher, and we would have much more to lose if we would actually launch it in Switzerland, Belgium, or Luxembourg. So that's also a second reason why we chose the German market, being the second biggest car insurance market in Europe, the biggest one in continental core Europe, so a lot of growth potential. Jürg.
Yeah, I think also there will be space for two markets, actually. This mobile market, and there will be more, let's say, the traditional market. And the Basel, Germany operation I'm working for is really the one focusing on this traditional market. And I can just confirm, we talked with our agents, of course. You know, we told them there might be a mobile insurer will appear in the German market. What do you think? And the feedback is very relaxed about it. And I think also important is we have heard the brand will be a different one. So it's not Basler. I think that would have made the situation more difficult. It's a different brand. It's a different entity. It works independently. If they're very successful, certainly we will look also how we can interact locally. But for the moment, also the customer profiles are completely different. The one we approach and the one the direct mobile insurer is approaching.
Maybe coming back to shed a bit of light on the second question, René. One, the 2 billion upstream of cash serves two purposes, clearly. It serves the purpose of the reliable, attractive dividend, up-only policy. That's, of course, the big part. But also the possibility, the agility, the openness to be able to invest in future growth so that that will generate sustained value in the long term. So it's both of them. As I said, we will evaluate these innovation growth projects on a case-by-case basis. So it's difficult to give guidance in terms of, hey, these 2 billion, and if you want the 400 million per year, which, as German said, will build up linearly over the 5 years, it's difficult to give guidance there. But of course, the aim is clear. By upstreaming substantially more cash into the holding, the objective is to increase the dividend sustainably. You have been waiting for a long time.
Thanks for your time. Falconary Autonomous Research, just three questions from my side. Firstly, just coming back to the 2 billion number. I mean, obviously, one question there is precisely what the sources of that are. In particular, is any of that coming from excess capital within the subsidiaries, or should we think of it as being representative of your kind of sustainable capital generation? That's probably my first question. And then secondly, in terms of the uses of it, once that cash is up to the holding, should we consider any kind of deductions for holding costs and debt against that 2 billion before we get to a kind of sense of what's available for investment? And then finally, just on the kind of mobile insurer element, I mean, what's the kind of process of gateways that you're going to use? As you say, like, part of this kind of new agile process is to figure out when things are going badly quickly. I mean, what is the gateway path, and how much of the 40 to 45 or 40 to 50 million is already committed?
I'll call upon some help of German, I think, on the second question. The first one again? Yeah, I'm losing it. Sources. Yeah, your question is there sort of, in the 2 billion, is there a sort of excess capital that is being released to actually upstream the cash? The answer is no. It's actually 2 billion generated by our operations. So that's the first question. Second question, Herman, that's more a question for you, I would say. You want to repeat it, Mark?
It's the gross and net with regards to
gross and net are the deductions on the whole
debt costs.
Well, it has a bit to do with the first one as well, because indeed what we're talking about is the operational cash flow, but the character of the group will change to a certain extent, because up to now we always said that actually the cash warehouse is a non-life company in Switzerland, and we will probably take more to the holding, and that means that going to the capital market or group internal loans and that sort of thing will probably, the holding will play a more prominent role than it has now. For you, it doesn't make a difference, but it makes it easier for the group. It has to do as well with the fact that we had a couple of financing companies or internal reinsurance companies on Bermuda, for example, and those are repatriated meanwhile. So that makes a difference as well. It's more in Switzerland than it was before.
Sorry, microphone. We get the second.
Actually, you have two microphones, but they are
Sorry.
badly distributed.
Yeah, no, it's just a question of, should we consider, I mean, is there any debt cost at the holding level that we should consider as a deduction, i.e. it's going to be partly funded from that 2 billion?
Well, you have the debt costs that are now outstanding, and the leverage will probably stay about the same.
Okay, so those debt costs should presumably be taken
But of course, we had in the first part, we had the question with a hybrid. So a hybrid, for example, would increase debt costs
if you chose to go down that route.
And then maybe on the third question, what is the process or the gateways for mobile insurer? Is of course not so that we have committed for a 45 to 50 million and then we don't look at it anymore until the end of 2018. As Pascal and Thomas also said, it's a very iterative process. So actually we commit step by step on different gateways, the investments, and we actually tailor it as we go based on the number of KPIs, like of course number of clients, combined ratio and so forth. So we take it step by step. It's not of a big balloon just disappearing and only being looked at again in 2 years' time.
Any other questions from the room? Quickly checking the internet. Silence. All answered.
Everybody's of course hungry and thirsty, so it's or they have all gone already to lunch. Huh? That's also a possibility.
Wrap up.
Peter Casanova, Kepler Schöber. If I may ask one question, we had a beautiful movie about Sarah when she entered in her new apartment and she Googled and she ended up with Baloise. What is the step going to Google, say, household insurance and be relatively sure that she hits Baloise?
I will hand over also to Sasha perhaps for a bit more of information. Of course, what we need to do in this new world is what is called performance marketing. This means that actually you tailor and you also very quickly actually adapt to what you have to do and where you get the most hits. And this is exactly an example where you want to work together with analytics and try to understand how you get very high in the list of the Google search. But Sasha, I don't know whether you want to allude to that.
Well, as I mentioned before...
Just wait a little, they might put on the mic.
Okay. It's okay? Good. As I mentioned before, now the customer journey gives us the hints where we have to invest. That will be a point. So it's just, you have to invest in this. So you have to pay for it. But it's actually, it's been done. It's possible, so why shouldn't we do it?
Good. Wrap it up quickly and then finish.
Good, let's come to the end of the...
Sorry, one quick follow-up. Very quick question from me. Can you please comment on M&A and any appetite there? I mean, we haven't really spoken about it today. It feels like most of the investment potentially is organic.
That is true, but actually we repeat what we have been saying for the last couple of years. I mean, if there is an interesting anorganic possibility and a potential, we look at those targets very seriously. So we certainly don't exclude M&A, traditional M&A. I think we're still open, we're still interested to invest in interesting targets. But we also think that there are alternative ways of investing in growth, and these are the couple of things we talked about, the partnerships. So not only traditional M&A, but also the possibilities on working together with other partners, forming joint ventures and so forth. So it's a combination of those. But we are absolutely not excluding out of our strategy new moves in the M&A space. Then let me really wrap it up. It has been a long noon or afternoon, I would say. And let's just go back to the one-pager, who is sort of disappearing. So next time we'll present a strategy without one page. Huh? That would even be more... just a couple of things to wrap up. One, we have an extremely strong, solid legacy. A history on which we can build our future. That's one. A history of which we are proud. These are our 5 stars. But we've also seen that the challenges around us in a changing world with regulation, interest rates, consumer behavior, and tough competition are not easy. And that's why we said our target is to be the trusted choice of people who really feel simply safe. That's our golden opportunity. Make it simple and make people feel safe. And luckily enough, we don't start from scratch. We don't start from zero. We start from, as I said, a very strong legacy on which we can build and a very strong action-oriented culture. And we will leverage and grow our core. We will place our bets intelligently and go beyond insurance, and we will cultivate this culture of agility and entrepreneurship. And as such, be successful in our Simply Safe strategy, because once again, the uniqueness of our DNA, which cannot be copied, is that we deliver what we promise, we execute seamlessly. Thank you very much.